believe what happened over here, man. We're gonna go out there and really went in the house. Cops came out here. Told me I was just taking out the garbage. Where you been?
Shit, man, I've been taking care of these motherfuckers.
Oh, damn.
Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends, they can watch it go down. I got mine too, so welcome to my house. Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house. You better believe it, cause today won't be your day. I can guarantee it, you should turn and walk away and get to leaving, or I'll let this 12 gauge do all my speaking. Don't push me on the edge, boy. Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. And all I see is red, boy. I told you not to cross that line. I'm giving.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to UltimateDirtTV. Tonight on the program, the Iracing IROC Gander Truck Series, race number 3 of 16. Tonight, we come to the virtual Richmond Motor Speedway. Brett Wheeler joined alongside Kenneth McLean. Kenneth, we're into qualifying at the moment, and well, your first time here on UltimateDirtTV. How you feeling, buddy?
You know, got a little bit of the shakes, but not feeling too bad. Looking forward to watching the race and enjoying the show tonight.
All right, little bit of a different thing we do here on UltimateDirtTV. We've crossed over to, well, I'm not going to call it the dark side. We'll just cross over to the asphalt side. It's a bit of a grey area, if you can take that pun if you like. But just a couple of things. We've got heat racing action tonight. They're going to be 10 laps apiece, followed by a 140-lap main event. It'll be cut into 3 stages. So stage 1 will be 75 laps. They'll throw a yellow. Stage 2 will then be 45 laps. They'll then throw a yellow again. And stage 3, the final stage, will be 30 laps. Between each stage, we're going to add 5. We'll use 5 caution laps, and of course that'll make up the what is 160 laps. Will be shown on the iRacing ticker up top. Brand new ticker we're using here tonight. We were scheduling to use it just Sunday night with World of Thunder, but it turns out it doesn't like dirt. So now hopefully it's going to work on the asphalt side of things. Also to note, after stage 1, the top 3 will receive an EOL, but they will also get bonus points in for stage 1, and they'll start at the back of stage 2 when we go back to green. At the end of stage 2, the same thing's going to happen. At the end of stage 2, the top 3 will receive an EOL for the final stint on the race. Again, they will get bonus points. And Chris Mefford, who I believe is here tonight, yes he is. He's going to start the feature with an EOL as he was last week's winner. So a few little different things I've got sort of implemented here just to change it up and just make sure everybody, you know, has got that chance at being at the front of the field. But man, qualifying is not too far away from wrapping up. We'll get into heat racing action. Kenneth, well, me personally, this is unfamiliar territory for me. I don't know about you, but man, I'm not too sure how we're going to go on asphalt here tonight.
100%. It definitely doesn't have the constant attraction. I think the biggest difference between asphalt is you're looking for really minor changes in the way they drive, whereas in dirt you're looking for those big haymakers. So it'll be interesting to see. And then the other big thing is watching how teams or groups will start working together to utilize that draft so they can pull on other people and maybe set some better times. I was watching in the practice. There's a pair of guys that just ripped around the track.
All right, well, let's take a look at qualifying results, if they're going to work. Yes, they are. Kevin McCann with a 21.757, a tenth and a half quicker over Steven Singer. Then you go back to Aaron Smith, Brian McCann, Jared Widener, your top 5. Matt Henry, Brandon Mefford, Colt Cecil, Eric Dotson, and Matthew Brower in your top 10. We are looking at 4 heat races on the program for... I was going to say the main event tonight. Well, it still technically is the main event, but it's not dirt. So Kevin McCann will start from position number 1, and Jared Wyden will line up out of position number 2. Starting from position at number 3 will be Eric Dotson, and on his outside, Matthew Kopp will line up out of position number 4. Chris Worley will line up out of position number 5, and Chris Mefford, who was last week's feature winner, he will start from position number 6 as they roll off here behind the iRacing.com pace truck. And well, nice to see that they've still got the official pace truck here on the asphalt side of things. They'll certainly keep an eye on last week's feature winner, Chris Mefford, starting from position number 6 in car number 46. But there is Brian McCann, the 33. Widener. After each heat race, what we're going to do here on the asphalt side of things, we're going to hopefully chat to your heat race winners and just get their thoughts on what the racetrack is like. But now, normally on asphalt, depending on the track side, no, we're going another one. So we're going to go 2 times around before we let them loose.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty on my end.
Someone's unplugged your headset, huh?
Yeah, you know, perks of wireless is you get to wander around. Downside is if you don't listen to it when it says it's dying, it will go on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know all about the old wireless headset and having a doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Mine just gives that one crisp beep. It goes beep, and that's the end of her.
Wow, that's some tough break. So we get set here for race number 1 here on the asphalt side of things again. The trucks. What's going on, Vassal? How are you, buddy? Okay, so I don't get it. I really don't get this timing because...
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused now. It looks like the pit truck's pulling in now. Maybe we'll start to see some action here.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, in heat races on dirt, this wasn't working on Sunday night when we were trying to use it for World of Fun. And now we've got heat races here on the asphalt side of things. And, well, what do you know? It's working. Green flag is out. Kevin McCann will lead Jared Widener in that number 88 machine. The 87 is Eric Dotson. That's your top three as we work on lap number 1. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, looks like we got a bit of a wreck there. Right outside of turn 4.
Yeah, that was Jared
I
Widener.
missed out. Jarrett Widener.
Well, since we've got a bit of time, let's take a look at the replay here. Oh, yeah, show it in slow-mo, but we'll get that one fixed up. Here it is, just getting tyres a little too cold, just sort of over driving it there. Probably stayed on the gas just a little too much and then tried to lock it up. But tough break.
By then it was all she wrote.
Yeah, tough break for Jared Widener as we come back to live picture here from the virtual Richmond Motor Speedway. This is race number 3 of 16, so you can see all the action right here on UltimateDirtTV all season long. 7 laps left to run.
Looks like Kevin McCain with a commanding lead out there.
Yeah, he's got 1.5 seconds, that is, by the way.
It does look like the number 2 spot might be fought for if Chris Medford can get up into that draft of the number 87.
Well, he was last week's feature, and so right now, I mean, he's just out there just trying to get some track time, trying to get used to the setup, and then, I mean, at the end of
take his UL at the end of it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, I guess he's just trying to figure out, you know, where he's going to pass, you know, for later on in that 140 lap main event. As Medford now slips up the inside on the 87 of Eric Dotson, so Dotson going to slip back to position number 3. Meanwhile, Kevin McCann over 2-second lead right now over Medford. Back there in second again. Medford, the only driver to advance up 4 positions so far. Chris Worley in the 5 machine. He's back there in 4th. He's advanced up a position as well. Everybody else has stayed the same or dropped back.
Does look like the number 88 of Jarrett had to pit out on that crash there. Hopefully he didn't have to tow, so we'll see him back out there for at least 1 or 2 laps.
Right, you're looking at 4 laps to go. You're watching right now Chris Worley in that number 5 machine. And then Matthew Kopp in car number 22. Yeah, I kind of feel awkward.
Yeah, I'm waiting for here comes the big haymaker, but right now, again, it's just about that precision driving, finding that perfect little line, trying to catch some of the wind off the tail of the guy in front of you, and slowly work for that angle. So it's a little bit out of water waiting for that versus, you know, just a big hard left turn, swing into someone's door.
Yeah, these guys are actually physically turning left, where on dirt, you've got to turn right to go left.
Yeah, right there, counterintuitive. This is all left.
Well, got the laps left to run here in heat race number 1 of the Iracing IROC Gander Truck Series. Again, this is race number 3 of 16. You can catch all the action live across Facebook and YouTube. And a big thank you to, of course, iRacing for putting us on the iRacing live page as well. If you're watching over there and you're on our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Of course, it is free to watch. We've got plenty of dirt content throughout the week. And then we have our asphalt content that we have here each and every Thursday night. As Kevin McCann comes into turn number 3, out of turn number 4. Here is checkered flag is out. Heat race number 1 winner is Kenneth.
He's going to walk away with it.
Now Kevin McCann going to make it look very, very easy. We'll hopefully chat to Kevin here in just a few seconds time, although I don't know where he is. So we'll tell you what, we're going to bring up heat race number 1 results quickly for the viewers at home. Kevin McCann 1.8 seconds, and well, Chris Medford, who finished second, he actually closed in those last sort of 3 or 4 laps once he got by Eric Dotson, who came in 3rd, Chris Worley in 4th, Matthew Kopp 5th, and Jarrett Widener in 6th position. Remember, he had Kevin McCann had over a 2-second lead there at one stage, but ended up being 1.864 of a second.
That's hopeful for Chris Medford once the big race comes around. Yeah. He knows he can at least gain on him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm just trying to find out if we can get Kevin McCann in here. He's not in here, but if he's listening or someone with him that is listening, please send him over to the Discord and we'll have a chat to him. Stephen Singer for Hollow Boys Racing will start from pole position. Matt Henry will line up out of position number 2.
Matthew Brower pulling in that position number 3. Brian McCubbin in position number 4. The number 5 coming out for Cook Quick. And Joshua Funkhauser pulling in that number 6 spot.
It looks like Joshua Funkhauser did not make the call for heat race number 2. So we'll still see if we can get the winner of heat race number 1 in here. And well, he's not in here just yet, but I'm sure he'll be in here sooner rather than later, hopefully.
We'll keep an eye out for him.
Well, heat number 1. This doesn't go as quick as dirt.
No, it kind of drags on. I think it's more the start. We're used to that quick action, you know.
Yep.
One lap around, and if we're having to go for another lap of slow, someone did something wrong. But it's a good opportunity because, again, these guys have to rely on the warmth of their tires to kind of grip onto the track. So this extra lap probably makes the world of difference for them.
All right, pace truck about to make its way to the infield in the pits. Green flag set to fly here off Steve Singer in car number 6, and Henry.
And we are off.
Hands on the outside, green flag is out, 10 laps on the board, heat number 2 of the Iracing IROC Gander Truck Series, the 98 right now of Matthew Brower. He had a sneaky Pete up on the inside of the 19 of Matt Henry, but Matt Henry had nothing of it as they found themselves out single file here on lap number 1.
Yeah, so now it looks like it's going to again be that game of attrition. Who's going to be able to last the longest? Who's going to not make that one tiny mistake? That's one of the other things about this is I definitely feel like they feel a mistake a little bit heavier. Because in dirt, a lot of times you got guys having to check up for you, but in this, when you're gone, it's adios. Everyone's holding on to that nice bottom line there, and you're just kissing the wall.
Well, there we go. A couple of laps in the books here in heat number 2. Again, this is just this is to set the lineups for tonight's main event. We're scheduled over 140 laps, and you'll see 160. But again, we explained the stage breakages, 75 laps. After 75 laps, we'll take a break for stage number 1 and move on to stage 2. There'll be 5 laps between stage 1 and stage 2, which will be done over 40 laps. Again, we'll throw another 5 laps in there to complete the end of stage 2. And then stage 3 was going to be a 30-lap sprint to the end. Probably a good opportunity for these drivers right now, Kenneth, with these heat races, these 10-lap heat races, just to get a feel of what their car's going to do, especially on those starts when they come in. Not only on the start, but if we see those green flag or the pit stops under yellow, it'll give an opportunity, for those drivers to get a feel of what their race car's like, with those colder tires.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll be interesting to see, especially later on, how these guys are going to utilize their pit stop, especially since it's divided up into the stages. Do you potentially want to try to push hard and get that EOL and the bonus points, or are you going to want to take your pits and just kind of finish middle of the pack to where you're not taking that big bump, because at that point you're just gambling?
Well, I'll tell you who's not gambling right now. Steve Singer out in front in car number 6. He's got what is that? Nearly 9/10 of a second lead over Matt Henry, who continues to run in second position. We haven't seen any passing here in heat number 2, but again, probably expected. Not many passes going on here during the heat race. We'll certainly see a lot of passing in tonight's main event. You're watching Brian McCubbin in that 09 machine trying to run down Matthew Brower in that 98. That's your 3rd and 4th cars on the racetrack. 3 laps left to run, Kenneth.
I mean, so far it's been interesting. There was a moment where I had a bit of glimmer of hope for the number 19 of Matt Henry. He was starting to work his way up to get that first place spot, but I happened to switch cars and I missed it. But I can only assume it was just a small mistake setting him back that much further.
Well, again, we work on the popsicle sticks coming out here at the Richmond Speedway, the Richmond Motor Speedway. I don't even know what you call it. I'm going to go with Richmond.
The Richmond Raceway.
Oh, okay, there you go. See? Asphalt.
RR.
Asphalt does wonders here to us dirt guys. White flag is out. Final lap in heat number 2. There'll be 4 heats on the program. We are just a lap away from completing our second heat race of the night. It's Steve Singer Well, he's comfortably out in front. He's opened up a 1 second advantage and should get it out to about between 1 and 1.1 seconds as we come into turn number 3 and out of turn number 4. Nice and high, right up against the concrete wall, right up against the barrier. Checkered flag is out. And we are done for heat race number 2. I wonder how these...
That'd be Steve Singer. We'll be having a chat with you here soon.
I wonder how these asphalt guys are liking the heat races. We take a look here at the finishing results here for heat number 2. Steve Singer, Matt Henry, your top 2. Matthew Brow, Brian McCubbin, Quick, and of course Joshua Funkhauser, who did not make the call. I'm going to let you have a chat to our heat race number 2 winner.
Hey Steve, how we doing?
Steve?
Paging Steve.
Steve, you got a copy in the booth, buddy?
Might have had to go take a leak after that race.
And I'm not sure which channel he was in. I'm assuming it was going to be that one. So apologies to some of these guys. Maybe we were just unable to tap into the radio. Maybe signing some autographs from some fans in the pit area. But heat number 3, Aaron Smith will start from position number 1. Falcon Motorsports 83 of Brandon Mefford will line up position number 2. Doug Wysocki in the Falcon Motorsport 34 will start position number 3. Hunter Clark will start position at number 4. Dakota Clark will line up position number 5. And Brian Rick lines up out of position number 6. Who's you picking this one, Kenneth?
Honestly, I'm probably going to have to put my money on Brian. So I was watching Brian earlier in the practice laps, and he was staying super consistent on almost every one of his laps. And if he can just catch the right little shoot away, I know he's sitting pretty far back there right now, but I think if he can catch the wind off those other guys, he can get up there.
No, well, I mean, I hate to pick the guy on the front. I hate to pick a guy on the front row or starting on pole for that fact, but you know, there's a reason why he's there. I'll go with Aaron Smith. So I'll be that half cheat guy. Picks the guy that starts up front.
I would just like to root for the underdog. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be Smith who will lead through the opening couple of turns. Mefford, that's Brandon Mefford in the 83, runs in second. Wysocki in that 34, and that's a good looking race car, that one. Now these cars are all got good looking wraps, but those colours just get me green and white.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of those colors. The green and whites, the orange and blacks. Those ones that you don't see an awful lot of.
No, I run green on my cars, right?
Oh, I'm aware. Oh, looks like we got some action there. The number 34 car gets spun out by the 51. No, 51.
Yeah, that was Hunter Clark.
Hunter Clark giving him a little love tap there.
Let's see, here it is. Yeah, he just come up there just a little bit, didn't he?
Came up a little too quick. Hunter wasn't able to break away.
Let's take a look again from high above the sky. Yeah, he certainly came up into his left rear quarter panel. Didn't get him once, but got him twice and sort of finished him off. So I believe that Wysocki has gone back to the pits as we are going to come back to live pictures here from the Richmond Raceway. Your race leader in car number 70 is Aaron Smith.
Brandon Medford, the 83 car, pulling a second. He's got a ways to go. And then again, a little bit further back, the number 51 of Hunter Clark pulling into third.
So there's a nice little battle developing here. Brian Rick in that 38 machine. Going to battle it out with Dakota Clark. So side by side. And well, probably the most action was seen in heat number 3. All by that little love tap there from Hunter Clark into Wysocki. But that is Dakota Clark in the 0 machine. In the 38, I should say. Brian Rick is in that 30, and well, he hasn't gone forward too much. He's only picked up a spot.
Looks like we might start seeing them string out here, though. The excitement was fun, but we only got 3 more laps to go here, and hopefully they can get back to it, but we'll see.
Well, your race leader, Aaron Smith, opening up a big 1.2 second advantage right now over Brandon Mefford in car number 83. Again, this is just to set the lineups for tonight's feature event. Over 140 laps. Again, stage 1 going to be 75 laps in distance. At the end of stage 1, the top 3 will receive an EOL for the start of stage 2. Stage 2 will in fact be 45 laps. And the top 3 at the end of stage 2 will get an EOL for the start of stage 3. Now, one thing to note as well, as I said previously, top 3 in stage 1 and 2, they will receive bonus points, as well as getting penalised to go to the rear of the field. And of course, Chris Mefford, who we saw in heat race number 1, pick up about 3 or 4 spots. He's going to start the feature event at the end of the line, as he was last week's winner. As the white flag is one to go, Kenneth, for your race leader of Aaron Smith.
You know, it's something to watch. Like you said, it's a little bit different than dirt, a little bit more spread out. I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. It's definitely nice seeing guys who can actually cook these laps, because honestly, if I get behind that wheel, it's a hazard.
Makes 2 of us, actually. Makes 2 of us.
It's good to be there. That's why we do this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Heat race number 3 is complete. We'll have one more heat race left on the program here before we get into tonight's feature event. Let's just find out where Aaron Smith is, and looks like he is not anywhere to be found. Making sure I'm not missing him here. Anything? Nope, I am not. So Smith, Brandon Mefford, Hunter Clark, Dakota Clark, Brian Rick, and Doug Waisoki or Socky.
I think it's Saki.
Socky? Okay. Brian McCann start from position number 1. Colt Cecil will line up at a position number 2. Vincent Short will line up at a position number 3. Mike Harper and Jesse King will start from position number 4 and 5. And we had heat 1 winner was Kevin McCann, I believe. Let me bring up heat race number 1 results. It was.
Yep, that was Kevin McCain.
Okay, what I'm going to do, so he's in race.
Oh, it looks like Kevin just jumped into the interview room. I'm going to pull him up if you want to chat with him.
Yeah, I'm standing by with heat number 1 winner Kenneth McCain. Kevin, congratulations on heat race number 1 victory. But I mean, that's only part of what is a long race here tonight.
Oh yeah, thanks. It was fun starting on pole, so I could stretch out the lead there. But yeah, it was a good little practice for the feature. It's gonna be a fun race tonight.
Hey, what sort of information do you give to Brian here as he lines up from pole position in heat number 4?
Oh, I'm not giving him anything but bad intel since I'm racing him tonight. We're pretty tight in the points, so we stopped sharing secrets and advice with each other for this season. So we just try to mess with each other and you know, battle it out on the track.
Mate, what do you make of the heat races? You know, before to line up the the feature event.
Well, I think like you saw in the heat races, it gets spread out after the first couple of laps. The tires fall off here is pretty big, so you're gonna see it get spread out. But long runs, the guys that can not wear their stuff out, you know, there might be some good battles longer in the run.
Like obviously with the starts, you know, only a 10-lap run. Did you learn anything over that 10-lap run that, you know, you can sort of apply to the feature event?
No, not really. It was too short, 10 laps. I think I got more out of the practice session. Like I said, long runs are going to be important here. So that's the biggest thing. Just trying to figure out how fast you can push it in the beginning and not, you know, overheat your tires and wear out that right front.
No, buddy. Look, we'll get back to the action. Good luck in tonight's 140-lap main event.
Thanks.
There you go. That was Kevin McCann. We had a little incident involving Jesse King and Vincent Short there. We just sort of almost saw the back end of that one. So Jesse King in the 93, ducked to the inside on short. This is a replay, and oh, just got a little tight and drifted up into the 15. Vincent Short, and Short got some heavy left side damage on that car. Jesse King went around, and that'll be not the end of his night, but the end of heat race number 4 as we work on completing lap number 3 of 10 with 7 to run here at Richmond.
We got Brian McCann holding that first position, and it actually has been a pretty tight race. While you guys were chatting there, I was keeping an eye on it. Colt is starting to make some moves, but it's almost for naught with this because he's not able to get just close enough where he doesn't have anyone else around him that he can use to capitalize and move forward.
Yeah, interesting to note, as well that as I asked Kevin just then, this 10-lap sprint, there was nothing. He didn't really gain anything out of it. The practice that they had before that, leading up to this, they had 60 minutes of practice or an hour of practice leading up, and just sort of getting a feel of how long they can last on their tires, whether they change their tires under yellow depending on what lap it comes out. So pit strategy is a very big factor here on the asphalt side of things.
Yeah, absolutely, and I definitely see these heat races as being more of a chest puff than anything. This is to get you mentally kind of in that right position, like Brian McCain right here in that first place position. He's got to be feeling good going into the next couple series.
All right, as we are working on 3 to run right now, the Iracing IROC Gander Truck Series. Again, race 3 of 16 with 3 to run. You're watching Brian McCann on screen right here on UltimateDirtTV, and of course we're on the Iracing IROC Facebook page along with the YouTube channel, youtube.com/UltimateDirtTV. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It is free to watch, of course, and closing in on 17,000 followers on the Facebook page, and pretty remarkable considering that we get a lot of support week in and week out, and night in, night out. It's pretty cool. You a fan of the basketball?
Basketball? Yeah. I was for a while, but the last couple of years, ever since the rules got a little bit softer, it just kind of lost its shine for me.
Yep. I was just gambling on basketball. That was also just curious to see. If you're a gambling man, checkered flag is out here in heat race number 4. This will be the final heat of the night. Again, we'll move into a 5-minute practice session, but of course before we do that, we will in fact chat to your heat race number 4 winners. We wait for all the cars to come across the start finish line and clock in their times for 10 laps around the Richmond Raceway. And while the warm-up session is now on, again 5 minutes, we are going to chat to, actually, you know what? I'm going to let you chat to him. Our heat number 4 winner. Here he is.
Hey Brian, how we doing?
That's 2. Brian.
I don't think anyone wants to talk to me.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're the problem. Brian, you got a copy, buddy?
Brian.
Getting things set up in his race car. Or maybe Kenneth. Maybe Kevin's taking the battery out of the microphone so he can't actually talk.
I'm sitting here waiting for the man. Brian, you got a copy?
No.
You here?
Oh, there we go.
Brian, how you doing?
I just got back and y'all moved me into the interview room.
Yeah, mate, we don't muck around here, all right?
Congratulations on that
tonight?
heat race win.
Oh, thank you.
So, anything you can tell us so far that you've learned about the track, or just how are things going for you tonight so far?
The track is a little weird. I've changed my lineup a little bit. I'm not sure if that's a good strategy or not. I'll have to see what everybody else is running when we get out on a track for the main race. I think tires are going to be good, and they don't seem to really drop off too bad. I don't think fuel's going to be too big of a problem.
All right. Anyone out on the field tonight that you're nervous about or worried about?
I saw Chris Medford was running some pretty good laps there in his heat race, running Kevin down.
Yeah, he was. It was impressive to watch from up here. So, is there anything you can offer here to the guys currently in? Any advice you can offer on startups or anything? I'm looking to get into the asphalt myself.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding with you, man.
Love to have you. So you do dirt mostly, right?
Oh yeah, dirt's definitely where we've been at the most.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm the asphalt guy, and just recently, last season, got into dirt for my first time. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's a blast.
You know,
yeah, I'm looking forward to...
You know the reason why we use asphalt, right?
What's that?
It's to get to the dirt tracks.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
All right, Brian. Well, looking forward to watching you run out there. Congratulations again on that heat run.
Yep, thank you.
All right, there we go. Oh, yeah, I had him all ready to drag out.
Yep, that was my bad.
Let's have a look.
He got moved twice.
Right, it's 1 minute 47. We'll take a quick break here at UltimateDirtTV. Come back in just a few short moments. You're watching race number 3 of the Iracing IROC Agenda Truck Series here live from Richmond. Hey, good evening and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to UltimateDirtTV. The Iracing IROC Gander Truck Series here tonight from the Richmond Raceway. Race number 3 of 16. Brett Miller joined alongside Kenneth McLean as we get set for the 140 lap A main to come here. And Kenneth, we've seen 4 heat races, strung out just a little bit, but now we're going to put the 23 cars on the racetrack for 140 laps. This should be an absolute belter.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really solid racing. It'll be nice seeing, again, those collective pockets working together to push up and catch those guys ahead of them.
All right, let's go through your starting grid. Kevin McCann will start from position number 1. Steve Singer will line up from position number 2.
Aaron Smith in the number 70 in position number 3. Brian McCain in the number 3 car pulling in at position number 4.
Chris Mefford rolls off position number 5. Then Matt Henry out of position number 6. That's row 3.
Row 4, Brandon Medford and Colt Cecil.
Row 5 going to be Eric Dotson in the 87. Alongside him, it'll be Matthew Brower in the 98 from position at number 10.
And rounding out to 11 and 12 is going to be Hunter Clark and Mike Harper.
We go back to the back half of the field. Chris Wally in the 5 machine will start position number 13. Brian McCubbin in caliber 09 from position number 14.
Dakota Clark in 15 and Vincent Short pulling in at number 16.
Matthew Kopp lines up from position number 17. Cook Quick We'll start from position number 18.
Position number 19 is going to be Brian Rick, and then in the position number 20, Jesse King.
And your final couple of starters, Jarrett Widener in the 88 will start from position number 21. Our 22nd driver, Joshua Funkhauser, did not make the call, and that'll be Doug Wysocki in car 34 to start from the back of the field. That'll be 22 starters. Now, just to give everybody a heads up, Chris Mefford has been given an EOL, so he is at the back of the field. He was last week's feature winner, and the ruling is if you win 1 week, the following week in the main event, you'll be sent to the back of the field. No questions, no ifs and or buts. It's just a rule that they have and the rule that they've got. And of course, stage 1, 2 and 3. Stage 1, 75 laps. Stage 2, 45 laps. Stage 3, 30 laps. 5 caution laps in between each stage. And stages 1 and 2, the top 3 will receive an EOL for the following stage, and they will receive bonus points. So there is a lot going on. We heard from Kevin and Brian. We know the points championship is going to be tight between those two, but we are set for a start. This time by the pace truck will move to the infield. 160 laps on the board. 150, hopefully, under the green flag. Green flag is out. We are racing heat race number 1. Oh no, heat race number 1 is complete. We're into the main event.
This is the feature here. Looks like we already got an incident there. Matt Henry getting put up into the wall.
Oh, tough break. So it doesn't only happen on dirt. It happens on asphalt too.
That's good to know. I'm not apologizing to anybody in dirt anymore.
No, that's it. No, just go for it. Just send it. So
Yeah,
it's the battle of the 19s here. The two 19s come together. And Henry in the 19 gets tagged from Cecil. Colt Cecil in the 119. Let's try and take a look at a closer look on that one.
I don't know if you noticed, but it looked like a second accident might have resulted from this. I think I saw a car facing backwards after it was all said and done.
It might have been this 19 here. So Henry just,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I think it's the red car right there behind him. Yeah, Cecil just going right up into the tail end of him.
It's Brower in the 98 machine.
Brower trying to avoid it, goes right into the nose of the number 5.
Ouch.
Ooh, you hate to see it.
So there's your other car that was placed around. I wonder what it's like to.
Well, that's what an accident looks like from inside.
Yeah. Oh. Actually, on board Colt Cecil here, so just the smallest of taps.
Man, that was not much. Just takes a little love tap, and you can send someone clear 360.
You can see he's got some paintness off his car. But that's what'll happen.
Wonder if the sponsors will dock him.
Might have to charge him for the paint. So as we are under the yellow flag for the first time this evening in tonight's feature event. And I wonder if this should work. Here it is. Look at that. See? First caution. And should we see a few more of these where it's got first caution there, just under the IROC banner? That'll actually tell us how many caution flags we have got. So
That's just something you don't see everywhere else.
I spent probably 5 or 6 hours working on this with Steve McMillan. What was last Saturday night for him, Sunday afternoon for me, getting it all prepped, ready to go for World of Thunder. Had majority of it complete. I get into what was Monday morning for me. I take my young fella to daycare. I come back home 7:30, ready to go. Let everything all up. I'm excited because we're pushing out. We're putting out a new product there on UltimateDirtTV, or the new overlay, I should say. We get into dirt. and it just scrolls once, and that's it. It doesn't want to.
Just never again.
No, it doesn't want to re-scroll. So I'm in the middle of talking to the software company, the people that make the timing, and I'm like, hey, is there any issues? Because I'm facing a lot of issues, and it kind of deflated me, because the time that gets spent in putting these overlays together, it's not something that just can be done in the space of like 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, there's so many little minute details that you got to just slowly tweak and tweak and tweak. I've built a couple overlays, and yeah, that is not easy, especially when you've got something that's moving fluid like this. It's easy to just put a frame up, but when you're actually trying to provide a show and give people some good quality content, it definitely takes the toll behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Right now, your race leader Kevin McCann leads from Brian McAaron Smith in second. Sorry, Brian McCann in that 3 machine, running in position number 3. Steve Singer, one of the heat race winners here tonight, heat number 2 winner it was. He's running in 4th position. Brandon Mefford in position number 5, and keep an eye on Chris Mefford as well, who started up in position, well, was scheduled to start position number 5, but he's back there in what is 15th position. Right now, he's starting to come through the field. He's just slowly picking them off one by one, and I'm sure in probably the next maybe 10, 15, 20 laps that he'll be sitting somewhere inside the top 10.
Yeah, that'll be. I mean, but you'd almost want to avoid that second spot. And here's a question: does he gain any bonus points from it, or is this just a so be it kind of situation for him receiving that EOL in the beginning?
I don't think he'll get any bonus points unless he's top 3 at the end of stage 1 or 2. But
okay, so he's got quite a fight ahead of him.
Absolutely. But you want to come out here, you want to win races, you want to prove that you're the best, or your championship material.
And what a way to do it!
Yeah, it's putting the pressure back on the drivers, and just making sure that it's not just a one-off type deal. And hey, I mean, one-off races are the best ones to win sometimes.
Absolutely, I'm $25 richer because of that.
All right, so we continue to watch Brian McCann in the 3 machine, Steve Singer in car number 6, Brandon Mefford in position at number 5. Back to Eric Dotson in that 87 machine. Again, the fielders got themselves strung out, but I guess it can be good, because if they're not close, they're not potentially bringing on the caution flag and running an extra 3 or 4 laps around here under the yellow flag. So far, just the 1 caution. And a reminder, at the end of lap number 70 it is, we'll throw the yellow flag for the completion of stage number 1. And the cars will come down pit road, get some tyres, get some fuel, and then of course the top 3 will receive an EOL for stage number 2, but they'll also bag some bonus points as well. So
yeah, and I think one of the other benefits of having these staged out races is, since what we're seeing here is where people are getting a little bit strung out, it's not like dirt where you can almost rely on a yellow to get back up to the pack. They almost would necessitate that restart. That way it can keep the racing interesting, and again give that guy a chance to show he's the best by going to the back.
It also gives an opportunity for drivers sometimes that like might be mid-pack drivers to find themselves up the front, and just find out how tough it is as the Zero Machine of Brian Reek just pulls over to the outside of the racetrack, and he lets 1 and 2, 3, might even let 4 cars by here. Colt Cecil, who was involved in that turn 1, lap 1 incident, now going to sneak up on the inside, and Colt Cecil going to move up to position number 14. Brian Reek maybe just playing the long game here, just thinking, well, if you guys want to pass me, that's fine. He's going to make sure that he's right there towards the end of stage 1, and then move on to stage 2, and then worry about stage 3.
So with this, the point system that they have here, are the points going to be stacking? So at the end of stage 1, you would get those set points, and if you finish in another position, say higher or lower, it just stacks up like that. So it's basically a compressed season.
I wouldn't have a clue.
Fair enough.
Look. I'm not going to pretend I know what I'm talking about sometimes, but one thing that I always am is honesty. This is week 3. Now, the previous 2 weeks, I actually had prior commitments. So the first week that we were scheduled to run, I was actually on my way to a real racetrack to stay overnight to commentate an Australian title over here, and done so. So I actually had BJ Duval cover that one, and poor old BJ, I think he was by himself, and we were talking off air briefly about super speedways. Race 1 was at Daytona.
Oh,
now that man is a trooper for going through that by himself. And of course,
yeah, I could only imagine doing this on your own. That's quite the caster.
Absolutely. So, and then last week, obviously, I actually was going to be here for that last week, but we had someone come to us that wanted to cover a dirt race and was pretty keen on getting us over there and, you know, showing, you know, what we can do what we can do for those guys. And, you know, we did that. And then BJ obviously covered last week. I'm pretty sure he had Alex Robinson in the booth with him. So, you know, the pair of them got through that all right. But hey, look, this is my first week here, although it's week number 3 of 16. And one thing to note as well, they've actually got a couple of dirt tracks in the schedule. They've got the dirt track at Charlotte and Knoxville now.
Really? So there's going to be a bit of a best of both worlds here.
Absolutely. Now, I was actually trying to convince the admins and the owners here to say, hey, listen, can I run, you know, Knoxville and Charlotte? And he's like, well, it's not fair on the other drivers. And I'll give you the reason why. Not because I'm a dirt guy, not because I've got a World Championship license or anything like that, but it's because it's not fair on those guys, because they're running week in, week out, consistently been here, where I was just sort of, and even BJ sort of posed the question to him too, you know, we're only coming in for 1 or 2 races, and it can potentially mess with somebody's championship. And I mean, hey, I totally get it. So
yeah, back to the action. I was just peeping that out. So it looks like Aaron Smith and Brian McCain are actually kind of having a little fight here for second. Brian McCain overtaking right now, getting into that second place spot. Now it's going to be up to Aaron to pull behind him.
Well, that's going to make it a 1-2 for the McCann boys. Kevin, of course, leading just very close to 2 seconds, about 1.8 seconds over Brian. The biggest mover through the field at the moment, Jesse King, started position 20th, and he's up to 7th position. So he pilots that purple and white number 93 machine. He's right in behind Steve Singer, we tried to speak to him after a heat race victory. Picked up heat race number 2 when it was, and of course he had some technical issues down there. But I noticed, if we take a look here, there's a few little parts missing on this race car. I'm assuming this has come with the newest update we've seen on iRacing.
Oh goodness gracious!
Yeah,
that's a beautiful looking car here. Let's pull it up.
Yeah, car 51 of Hunter Clark, that is.
Oh, that's. I don't think I've ever seen a car modified this way. I'm not sure if that's legal.
Yeah, surely there's.
I think that weight reduction there is a little too far.
Yeah, I think it's going just a little too far as he's getting into the wall. He's having a tough time, poor old Hunter Clark in car number 51, as we'll come back to the action here. And it is still Kevin McCann who will lead here at the end of lap number 29. So still, according to the ticker, we are 130 laps away. And that seems like an awful long way. In fact, well, yeah, because we've got a bit of time here, and you know, we are out of our comfort zone as we continue to see these guys sort of spread themselves out a bit. Story time here on UDTV. So before Dirt was introduced, I actually came over to iRacing. I've been on iRacing for very close, if not over 10 years now. I actually did some asphalt commentary. It started off with pit reporting back in the day with LSR TV. Now, obviously, different owners now from what we had back in the day. But yeah, I did a number of asphalt races here on iRacing, and I thought it was cool. But it just wasn't my cup of tea. Actually, worked with the likes of Evan Pasoko, Justin Prince, Justin Rosenau, Cisco Scaramuza, Laura Lawson. They were wonderful people, and they really welcomed me with open arms. So I know Cisco Scaramuza, who's actually working now at iRacing, and probably well deserved as well.
That's quite the startup you got there. Bit of interesting news. I'm looking through the replay to see if anything happened, but Brian McCain in the position number 2 is actually pitted in. He's coming back out to the track now. He's all wrapped up. But that drops him all the way back to 19th position. He's going to have quite the fight getting back up there, because it looks like we've got small pockets of racers starting to get together. But in general up there, once you're hitting that first, second, and third, you got quite the pull. But Kevin McCain does appear to be coming into the back of 2 drivers right now. I believe that's the 54 of Quick, and Brian Reck in the number 20.
I just had a notification go off, and I have no idea what it was, and it scared the absolute bejesus out of me. And I'm thinking that we may have actually just had a new supporter on UDTV, and again, you can support the channel. It's not the like and follow. There is a supporter button. I think you pay like $4.99 a month, so I think we've got about 8 or 9 of them at the moment. So if that was a supporter one, thank you very much.
We appreciate it, and we appreciate you scaring Brett.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I jumped. I did jump. While I've got the opportunity, I'm just having a look. We are 9 followers away from 17,000 followers. That's not a bad way. We've in the last year and a bit, or about a year and 2 months or so, year or 3 months, we've gone from, I think, around 3,500 to 4,000 all the way up to 17,000. So we've really hit something here on UDTV.
Yeah, that's a solid stride going on.
I'll put it this way. We had 2.5 million views in last year, from January 1st to December 31st.
I can do nothing but applaud you. That's very impressive. You really got something going on here.
Well, I mean, it wasn't just me. It was. I've had a lot of help over the since the inception of UDTV. Whether it's helping with the overlays, or whether it was producing. I can't take full credit for that one, because it wouldn't be right, and it's just not in my nature to take credit for stuff that I've had help with.
Yeah, it always feels kind of weird, doesn't it? If you're not the face of it, and you've got a hand at the backstage, being like, "Oh, I was actually the guy to take that picture. I was the guy to edit this or adjust this." It's definitely not a fulfilling thing. It's for me, it's more enjoyable just hearing it and knowing. Like, someone says, "Oh, I saw this video edit. That was really good." Knowing I had a hand in it, that I don't need to chime up and say that was me. I already got the compliment.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the 93, Jesse King, started 20th, up to position at number 3. Aaron Smith, who was running in the top 3, has found himself in the pits, and he had a 9.10 second pit stop, and he's back on the racetrack. And these drivers got some fresh rubber. Brandon Mefford in the 83 machine, still finding himself in second. And Kevin McCann has decided not to pit just yet, and just wondering how far he can push this one, because we were talking about strategies, and I spoke to Kevin after a couple of heat races, and he said that he wasn't giving anything to Brian. They were taking it, because it's like, well, I'm not going to give you any insight, because
the Iron Curtain's gone up.
Yeah, they're both going for a championship. So I mean, hey, I can totally understand it.
Yeah, you don't want to give the other guy the secret sauce. That's one of the benefits. That's why I've got quite the collection of setups now. Is since I'm just not a threat, they're like, "Oh, here you go, buddy." But someday I'll get my big boy.
Someday it'll come. Just what day? Well, we're just leaving that to a TBA at the moment, to be advised.
Yeah, don't want to pressure anything, especially after driving those sprint cars with you last night. That was.
Yeah, I think
I had to watch YouTube after that.
Yeah, I think Cody was slightly impressed in what I was able to do around USA. I nearly lapped the field. I was about 1/10 to 2/10 off from lapping the field, and I think third place I lapped twice. Fourth place I lapped like 4 or 5 times. But I mean, that's what you get with Sling Mud Fun. It's week 13, and I mean, anything is possible. Right now, the 88 of Jarrett Wyden on screen. He's up 15 positions. He started in 21st. Up to position number 6, Brian McCubbin in the 09 machine in 7th position. He's moved up 7th position as well. Jesse King coming into pits, and that'll be the first time we see Jesse down on pit road. Let's just take a look at his pit stall, and let's see how many seconds it is, because we've seen, we heard earlier at about a 9.10 pit stall. A pit stop for the 93. The right side tyres are already done. Left side tyres are done as well. Fuel is coming out, and that was 14.82. So there's some different strategies, different times. About a 5-second gap there.
Yeah, and with this one being those 75 laps, those pits deciding when to take them is, in my opinion, it's one of the things that's throwing me off a little bit more. I'm so used to you just keep going.
Yep.
And understanding that everyone else on the field is going to have to do the same. So you might be 19th right now, but then progressively from the front of the people who didn't pit just yet, you'll go see them start ticking off the board. And that might be your chance to ride in, but at the same time, your rubber could be burnt out by then, and you're not going to be able to maintain.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a look at this. Nice little battle on the racetrack right now. Matthew Kopp in car number 22 battling it out with Vincent Short in car 15. Then you go back to the 93 of Jesse King, who is just out there on some fresh rubber. He's just made quick work of those guys. But other than that first caution, Kenneth, we've had so far, touch foot, a clean run throughout this, what is completed, of 50 laps so far on the board. Still 110 to go, and I think if we can break it down, and this might be a thing for us to get through. We started off with a 75 lap stage. We could break that down into, say, a 40 and a 35 lapper, and then worry about stage 2, because that's going to be 45 laps. And well, I mean, we've seen 30 laps, 40 laps, 50 laps, 60 laps in late models. Sprint cars obviously 30, 35. You can get 40 around some racetracks, but yeah, we can actually break this down into dirt laps and just make it make that a little bit more enjoyable. Make it normality.
Make it palatable. Now it's something I can understand. You just said the right number, sir.
Look, oh no, I've spoken. I brought on the Alex Robinson curve. We've got our caution.
You had to bring it on to him, didn't you?
I blame Alex. Here we go. There's the contact. Well, I found it. Yeah, I was pretty quick on that one. That's Steve Singer in the 6 machine. Oh, he just looped it. Gee, the 98. He done well. Matthew Brower. Oh, man, that was
that was a rough spin out.
Yep.
Holy.
Right, so we're gonna go back and take
Yeah, let's see that one more time.
Okay, so this is Brower. So we're waiting on Singer to come out. So Singer's behind him now, 2 cars behind him. He's got the 3 there of Brian McCann behind him. So he's just doing the honourable thing, knowing that Brian's a little quicker. He just moves out of the way. And
Lets him up.
Singer's coming next lap. So we'll go back just a little further than what I would have liked to have gone. But hey, I mean,
So don't worry, that anticipation's got the heart going right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've got the time.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still watching a couple guys pitting in right now, getting their repairs going.
So here it
Everyone's
is,
still trying to get squared up.
Here this Singer comes around the outside, runs the middle line, and just
lose. Oh. What? I could only imagine being in that 98 machine. That would be a sweaty palm situation.
White knuckle on that one. Yeah, here we go. Here's the onboard shot. You can hear it.
And
wow.
I wonder if he thought about waving to him right there.
I mean, if he did, I'm pretty sure it would have only been a one-finger wave.
Yeah, just the little. That's all you need, though.
The cars have gone down to pit and see the 6 of Steve Singer just going back to the pit area, maybe getting some damage repaired on that number 6, and I think he was just out on some fresh rubber as well, so we'll have to wait for the field to sort themselves out, go past the start-finish line, because the lights are still on the pace truck, which means we're at least on a 2 to green. Once the lights go out, of course, then we'll go into a 1 to green. The field will line up in double file. But yeah, I mean, so far, what do we say for 70 laps, I think I said?
Yep, 70. No, it was
75.
60.
75. 75 at the end.
Oh,
At the end of lap 75. So when it goes to 76 of 160, that's when they will.
Oh, you're referring to the yellow.
Yeah. So.
Yep. Then we'll see those front runners get thrown to the back of the pack, trying to earn their bonus points. And now, is that an optional thing where if you choose to stay, you get to keep? Okay, so that is a.
No, it is.
If you're up front, you got to fight again.
Exactly. It's simple. If you're first, second, or third at the end of stage 1 and 2, you will receive an AOL regardless.
What a way to shuffle the cards.
Absolutely. I mean, there's options there for to think to go to the beach and just put in some extra sandbags in their race car, and maybe sit 4th at the end of stage 4, 5, 6, 7, from 4th on, say 4th through to 10th. There's an option there for those drivers to not get sent to the back, but also be starting up near the front of the final stage, which is only 30 laps. Because in 30 laps, I don't think there's going to be too much passing going on there. There might be a lot of aggression shown by drivers, but who knows? We're going back to green anyway this time by.
You got to be up to them to make that aggression count. Other than that, you're just hitting your wheel.
Well, let's see what can happen here. We are set for the resumption of tonight's feature event here in the Richmond Raceway, the Iracing IROC Gander Truck Series, right here on UltimateDirtTV across Facebook, YouTube, and on iracing.com/live. We thank Iracing for the opportunity once again. Green flag is back out. We start lap number 59, so it is going to be 78 minus, or 78 minus 55 is about 17 laps before the end of stage number 1. And Aaron Smith is your race leader, but here comes Kevin McCann in car 33. He'll peek to the inside and have a look at the 46 of Chris Mefford. Went to the back and now up to position number 4. And he's a chance of getting some extra bonus points as well, coming from the back. And wouldn't it be a story for Chris Mefford to start at the back, go to the front, be in the top 3 at the end of stage 1, get sent to the back, come back to the top 3.
Do it all again.
Come back to the top 3 at the end of stage 2, get sent to the back, and come back and get a podium.
Cinderella story right there. And the one thing I would have to consider is I wonder if the number 1 and number 2 car are at least in the least bit nervous about the fact that you got 2 Medford boys coming right behind him. And as we saw in the practice between the McCains, is their time was identical, and I can only assume that was them just working together as a unit. And so first and second either has to work together, or I think the 2 brothers are going to be able to work something out on them.
All right, yellow flag once again here on lap number 61. Matthew Kopp it was. We'll take a look at your UltimateDirtTV instant replay. So keep it on the blue, black, and white, kind of a 22 right on the middle of your screen. And wow,
just loses it.
Third driver that has.
I mean, least destructive thing that could have happened right there.
I can't blame
It's a shame it happened to him, but no one else had to be taken with.
Yep. Can't tell you how many times I've tried to run asphalt, whether it's trucks, cup cars, the legend cars, street stocks. I just can't run. I can't run asphalt. I take my hats off to these guys.
Yeah, it's incredible what they're able to do. I remember my first time running asphalt was actually with one of the other casters, Cody, and he was polite enough to tell me that you don't need to worry about pitting in. And I learned really quick what that actually meant to pit in when I was forced to be towed in, catching myself into the fence.
Yeah,
The tire wear is something else on asphalt compared to where in dirt you're reading the track, and that's one of the things that I commend these guys on is it's a feel thing.
Yep.
Like on dirt, you can see ahead of you and you can look at it and go, "That's slick, don't touch." Whereas these guys, it's all on how does that car feel to you? What's going on in that cockpit at that moment?
Yeah, so third caution, like I said, lap 64 of 160, and there it is up on the top left. So the lights still flash around the venue and around on the Iracing.com page. Like, and a cool thing that I sort of picked up on a couple of months ago on the dirt side of things, you notice the safety cars and the emergency vehicles, whether it's on asphalt or whether it's on the dirt. Just there, if you take a look at the ambulance on the back straight away, when the yellow lights are on, so are those yellow lights. Their flashing lights are on as well. And on the tow truck in 3 and 4.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice little detail.
Yeah. I actually picked it up, like, I don't know how many months ago, and I actually looked at it, it might have been last year actually. I first noticed it at USA, and then I noticed it at Lanier. When you come out of 4, you got the emergency vehicle on the exit of turn 4, right in the gap. I don't know if you've ever been out that way. I've been out there a number of times over the wall, so I've made friends with that. I've made friends with that emergency services.
They're great guys. They're quick.
Yeah, I mean they talk about being the best in the business. It's just watch as the field comes into 3 and 4. If you just watch from the 33, right there, the lights on that green post truck, they're flashing still.
That's an incredible little detail that's thrown in.
Mm-hmm. So
maintaining synchronization.
Absolutely. So I wonder. Well, I was going to say I wonder if they're calling the stage early, but turns out they are not. So the lights will.
Looks like they're just trying to get things sorted out there.
Yeah, well, lights are out on the pace truck, and the field is in the 2x2.
33 looked like it took a little bit of an early start, but we still got a minute.
So there's only a number of laps left before the end of stage. We're less than 10 laps because lap 75, at the completion of lap 75. So when it goes to 76 of 160, that's when they'll throw the yellow.
Now, who's your money on for getting that EOL?
You're going to pick 1 or 3?
Let's hear your 3.
Kevin McKay, Chris Mefford, and Brandon Mefford. Your top 3 as it sits right now. I don't think there'll be any change.
Earlier I was all for the underdog. But now we have another opportunity. Maybe things will change right here with this yellow flag.
Yeah, that's not the end of the stage though, because we've got Colt Cecil in the 19 machine.
It's going to bring him awfully close. So yeah, I'd probably go with you on those numbers for second, third.
Yep. Oh, Cecil just went by himself. Oh, look at that. Perfect,
the ambulance is already ready to go.
Time.
What a spot to crash.
Yep. We were just talking about it too. Actually, just tail whipped it. And he's just going, hey, you know what? I feel like going
Locks her up.
I feel like going to get checked out here.
Let's see how fast those lights are on.
Oh, they're on
instantly.
Very quickly. Yeah. The good thing that there was a gap in the wall for the safety vehicle to come out. So I wonder if we're going to call the end of stage 1 right now, because like I said,
yeah, I think to race it, we just pretty much hold out where we're at. But again, maybe one more yellow flag, someone's pitting in, and they'll lose a position. It's all the prayer of a mistake right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, while this yellow is going on around the venue, we'll take a quick break here on UltimateDirtTV. Come back in just a few short moments time. You're watching the iRacing IROC Gander Truck Series here from the Richmond Raceway, race number 3 of 16.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iracing.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Ultimate Dirt TV. Race number 3 of the Iracing IROC Gander Truck Series. Right here, live across Facebook and YouTube. Brett Wheeler joined alongside Kenneth McLean. Kenneth, we are stage 1 complete. Stage number 2 is upon us. But stage 1, it was Kevin McCann, Chris Mefford, and Brandon Mefford. Your top 3 that got sent to the back, but they also picked up some bonus points.
That puts your new leader as Jesse B. King in the number 93. Jarrett Wildern in the number 88. And if we can catch up to him,
Brian McCubbin,
your number 3, Brian McCubbin.
So
now it's going to be interesting because we're going to have to keep an eye on Chris. Because Chris Medford did it once before. And he might just be searching for those bonus points.
Yeah, we were talking about it prior, just before the stage 1 ended. Wouldn't it be a nice little fairy tale to go from the back after having to start at the rear because he picked up the win last week and then be at the top 3 at the end of stage 1, get sent to the back for stage 2 and do it inside 45 laps. Now this is going to be a good test to what it's going to be like for stage 3, although it's only going to be 15 laps shorter than what stage 2 is, but look at what was 75, started 80, so probably at around lap 125 is when we're going to see hopefully the next yellow, although knowing saying that, I've probably just given us the Alex Robinson curse and we'll see a yellow in the next couple of laps or so, but nice to see some of these drivers have had some quick repairs on their cars, and some cars are still all beaten and banged up.
Still hanging out. Impressively, Chris Medford already pushing his way up to 12th place with Kevin McCain not far behind him in position 13.
His brother Brandon
Looks
Medford
like he's
as well.
going for it.
Yeah, they're all just running the inside line. So Brandon Mefford, the brother of Chris, running in well behind each other. Nose to tail, position number 10 and 11. Kevin McCann in 12th. And right now, if I'm Kevin McCann, he led a number of laps here. Again, right now, I mean, he's probably doing the smart thing. He's just following the Mefford boys, through this field, and as they get through the traffic and the cars. I'm not going to say lap cars because they're all still racing for position. As they get through those those cars and they pick the cars off one by one, it gives the likes of Chris and Kevin to also come through and just follow in Brandon's footsteps and just making those moves through the field. But 75 laps for stage 1. We nearly cut that in half. We now go to 45 laps, and we start lap number 90, where we're looking at the moment. Still 70 to go. It's still a very, very long race here.
Yeah, we've got some distance to go.
Just having a look at Brian McCann in the 3 machine, trying to hold off Chris Worley in the 5. As Wally now going to move himself up to position number 4. And Jesse King, Jarrett Widener, Brian McCubbin still your top 3, and Brian McCann just seems to be struggling here in the early parts of stage number 2. Here comes Aaron Smith in car number 70. He's going to look down to the inside, down into turn number 3 and 4. Now here comes Steve Singer in the 6, who Singer is going to be scored a lap down, but he's still trying to race his way back to the front and maybe try and get himself back on the lead lap.
At that point, just hoping for do they throw wave laps here? Is at that rate, you'd almost be hoping for a yellow.
Look, the assumption, I'm going to say yes, but I mean, hey.
I would assume so.
Yeah. Well, they say, what they say about assuming. I'll tell you off air. Mefford, the boys, Brandon and Chris. Chris on the inside, Brandon on the outside. And then you go back to, of course, Kevin McCann, who was snuck his way into position at number 10, but tell you what, that 46, I mean, he's surely looking at the moment after what is now 93 laps complete. I mean, he's going to be a favourite to win this thing because he's already proven to come from the back to finish second at the end of stage 1. He now finds himself in 8th position after having to go to the end of the line again.
Oh, you see a little side draft action there as Chris lunges forward. Looks like they might be trying to set it up again on this turn.
Just take note of his entry into turn number 1, would you? Because see a lot of the drivers stay up on the top side, right near the concrete wall, down the front straightaway. But when they get into turn number 1, they're entering a lot higher. Watch Chris here. Look how
He holds
low
that
he is.
midline.
Yeah, look how low he is, and then take a look at his entry into 1. Look,
That's just a ridiculous confidence in your vehicle, knowing exactly where you can put it and exactly what it can do. It's a really impressive thing. He's already fought his way up to 7th place, taking that line, and also I haven't really seen anyone else take much note of it and follow suit.
so Brian McCubbin, who was in 3rd position a number of laps ago, he's got some right side damage missing on that 09 machine, so he certainly caught the wall a couple of times, and it's taken the right side door off that race car, the 33, Kevin McCann. Well, he's just slowly creeping up, and Brandon Mefford in the 83 who was just slipped back a little bit. Well, this could be interesting right here. That's the 70 of Smith, Wally, McCann, and Chris Mefford. 4 cars battling it out for 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're closing in just a couple of laps away before we come to 60 to go and move into the triple figure digit.
You know, so far this section has been one of the more interesting one in my opinion. I've seen a lot more tight racing, guys kind of getting side by side, using those drafts. It's making it a little bit more enjoyable right now. Not that it wasn't super enjoyable before, it's nice to see that action kicking in.
Yeah, it certainly is. The heat races again, they're a little strung out, but hey, as the boys have already alluded to, that's unfortunately that's what can happen, you know, with the less cars on the racetrack with such a short distance. Now, we've just completed lap 100. We look at 60 to go. We can break this down to 2 ways, Kenneth. We can break it down to 2 30-lap features right here, because that's technically, I mean, coming from the dirt side of things, that's what we're used to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should break it down to that. So we got 29 to go.
Well, technically, yeah, I'm going to cut it even shorter here, because we're going to have lap 125 is when the yellow flag is going to be thrown out for the end of stage 2, and then we have those five laps or caution laps to get the field lined up for the final stage, which will be, you know, the final 30 laps. So we're technically only got about 25 laps or 24 laps now till the end of the second stage.
We're already dipping in then.
Yeah, so, look, they say time flies when you're having fun. And, well, I'll tell you who's having fun right now is Jesse King in the 93. He's got nearly a 3-second advantage, 2.7 seconds over the 88 of Jarrett Widener, who is just holding on to position 2. But here comes Aaron Smith in car number 70. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but I was told, because we covered their big block season their last season, and we are going to be covering their big block second season as well.
Okay.
The designs on the car, they're all the same. It's just the colors are different.
Really?
Have a look. Have a look. There might be 1 or 2 guys that are different, but if you take a look, they are all the same design. And I gotta say, these designs, they're actually quite good. I thoroughly enjoy looking at these race cars, whether it's on the modified side of things or whether I enjoy looking at the trucks here. Whoever is doing their paints, I mean, they've got my tick of approval. Tell you who's got a tick of approval right now, the 46, Chris Mefford. I mean, I hate to harp on about this bloke, but I tell you what, after 105 laps, he's been sent to the back twice, and he's now just moved up into the top 3 as he makes the pass there on the 88 of Jarrett Widener. Is Widener now trying to fight back and trying to get that side drop, and here comes Brian McCann, Kevin McCann as well right there as they battle side by side.
We've got some interesting races going on. I think first place is, unless something happens, he's pretty much gone. Or but he might have to pit in as well, giving these guys a chance. But right now, as it stands, we've got a nice race going on here at the head of the pack.
Yeah, I gotta say, we're almost 3 wide there with Jarrett Widener. We also had Brandon Mefford in the 83 and the 33 of Kevin McCann, and it was McCann who was the one to back out of it. Was going to be that 3rd car in to what was the 3 wide battle there on the previous lap, and Probably a smart decision, but didn't need to take it 3 wide, especially considering that, you know, when you got 3 wide on this type of racetrack and with how much these cars, you know, you've got to get off the gas to, you know, to keep the car nice and straight. You know, you don't want to spin your wheels, don't want to buzz your tires and stuff like that. Wally now looking down to the inside just makes a big dive bomb. There we go. There's a nice little 3 wide company right now. Back to 2 wide method to the outside on McCann. 108 complete, about to be 109 this time by. And this race just inside the top 10, just outside the top 5, about 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, this is very exciting, because especially we've still got 51 laps remaining.
Yeah, so there's plenty of time to make a move. And they've been holding pretty tight so far. We haven't seen that string out where there's any air really given between them.
Just trying to keep an eye on the 46 as well, Chris Mefford. Just up in 3rd position to find himself just shy of 8/10 of a second back to the 70 machine of Aaron Smith. And Aaron Smith, who picked up a heat win earlier, picked up heat race number 3. So, I mean, some of these drivers at the front of the field, they know they've got the speed to be there. It's just it's about putting those laps together. And you know, if you're there at the end of it, you know, that just goes to show you that you do that week in and week out. The yellow flag is out, and the big gap for Jesse King is going
gone
short. And here's the thing as well. Right now, I mean, do you pit?
Oh, see, that's I'm not sure. I mean, we saw these guys earlier in the race taking quite a long time, and you've got the automatic end of stage 2 coming up. So I honestly, I'd probably ride him out.
All right, hang on. Here we go. I'm going to bring in the current leader at the moment. I hope we can tap into his headset here. Jesse, Brett Wheeler in the booth. Got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. How you doing, guys?
Hey, buddy. Hey, you're leading. You had a bit of a lead there. It's just been cut short. One question I got to ask you right now. Closing in on the end of stage 2, and I think I may have just found my answer out. You're staying out on the racetrack. That's obviously tactical. You feel like your tyres are going to be a-okay for the next 20 laps or so?
Yeah, man, I feel good about it. I've been just trying to pace myself up here. My spotter in my ear's been telling me them guys back there's been battling a little bit, so I hadn't been pushing real hard. So hopefully I saved enough for the end here. Just trying to gamble a little bit and see what happens.
Another tactic that might come into play, I don't know if you've thought about this one, at the end of stage 2, the top 3, get bonus points, but they also get sent to the rear. Now, the last stage is going to be 30 laps. Do you finish top 3 and get those bonus points, or do you finish just outside and play the end game in trying to get a feature win here tonight?
I think for me right now, points are everything. I got a little bit behind the 8 ball at Daytona, and I missed last week. So I'm just out here trying to get every point I can get. Earlier in the race, I was able to drive from the back of the pack up to about, I think, 3rd or 4th. So if I'm in the back, I think I feel okay about coming back to the front.
Yeah, buddy, look, we'll let you get back to your spotter, and good luck for the final parts of not only stage 2, but also stage 3 and the rest of the race, mate.
Hey, guys.
There we go, Jesse King. All right, so a couple of questions answered. Now, we're probably on 2 to green at the moment, so it's probably not ideal to bring drivers in just as they're about to go to green. But again, he's thinking of the big picture, the real bigger picture rather than the race win. He's happy just to get those bonus points and trust in his abilities to get back from the back to the front in such a short space of time. He's already started at the back. He started 20th, Kenneth, and now he's leading and he's led a number of laps.
Yeah, and he also has that guaranteed pit coming up. So, I mean, that gamble's not... The odds aren't super stacked against him, because once we hit the end of this stage, it's an automatic EOL, so why not take your pit? So, he can run them, and as long as he holds on, no mistakes are made, I think he'll walk away with this win.
Well, it's going to be less than a heat race distance, because right now we're on lap 116. The lights are still on, so that'll take at least 2 laps out, depending on what the lights do next time, by whether they go off or whether they stay on. If they go out, it'll be lap 116, 117 complete. We'll start lap number 118. That means 8 laps to go before he has to worry about stage 3, because at lap 125, or when it goes to 126 of 160, the yellow flag is going to be thrown then. that'll be the end of stage 2, and then they get down to the nitty gritty, the final stage, 30 laps around Richmond. Of course, they'll all pit, they'll get fuel if needed, and I can't see why they wouldn't grab fuel, because no doubt the spotters and the teams would have done their homework and done their preparation for the fuel, and especially for those final 30 laps.
Yeah, it's the game of numbers right now. This is where your spotters are going to come in a lot of handy. Just like we heard there, he was able to not really over push his car because he had someone sitting there in his ear the whole time, letting him know, hey, you got guys fighting, just don't run them out just yet. And it might have paid off for him right now with this yellow flag reset.
All right, here we go. 8 laps left to run before the end of stage number 2. The 93 of Jesse King, your race leader. Brian McCann in car number 3. Up to second, Chris Wally in position 3. Then you go back to Brandon Mefford in the 83. Matt Henry, Aaron Smith. They're going to battle side by side. Smith in the 70. Henry in the 19. Then you go back to McKibben in the 09. And then Chris Mefford in that 46 machine has just slipped back just a couple of positions. Of course, they may have gone down pit side and got a couple of fresh tyres for the final run here on stage number 2. Nearly 3 wide. Oh boy, look out, it's getting tight up there.
Yeah, and those guys that are pushing up, they're getting the points from the end of this stage. I mean, realistically, you got to think about it, that whatever position they're in, shave 3 off of that. So they'll be pushed, since they made that rush through, I think they'll be pretty set up for pulling out at least a win here for the future.
Well, closing in on 5 laps left to run here on stage number 2. The Iracing IROC Gander Truck Series. Again, week number 3 here at the Richmond Raceway. As you're watching on screen, the 3 of Brian McCann battling it out with the 70 of Aaron Smith. Then Smith now gets around the outside. And what a run he got through the middle of the racetrack. And look who was just seen that. The 46 of Chris Mefford. So he was right down low at both ends of the racetrack. Now look at him. He's gone to the middle. He's found something. He's seen Aaron Smith. 3 wide behind him, mind you. But this is some good racing. 2 by 2 by 2. And Widener in the 88 just watches this battle unfold in front of him. We are just now what will be 4 laps away. Make that 3. Lap number 123 of 160. When we get to 125, here's a battle for the race lead. Smith, he's really found some speed. And that's 70. Man, those fresh tyres on that car.
Nice push right there.
Unbelievable. With 2 to run, he is looking all but solid in trying to bag those bonus points.
Yeah, maybe I was wrong on that gamble there. Might have called that one a little bit early. I said that I think he had thrown the perfect gamble to hold on to first, but it looks like Aaron Smith was able to capitalize. That's really nice racing on his part.
Tell you what, should be the white flag here for stage number 2. And then you got Chris Mefford in that 46 machine. 3rd time we've seen him come from the back to the front. Looking for more bonus points here at the end of stage number 2. Should he finish in 3rd position, I can't see why he wouldn't. Off turn 4, there's Aaron Smith. There is 2nd place.
Oh!
And
it looks like 3rd might have been snatched from him.
Widener. And this could be, this could be a ploy.
I mean, it automatically throws Chris into 1st place for these final laps.
Absolutely. He doesn't have to come from the back in 30 laps, so...
And he was able to do it twice, so we can only assume what we're going to see from him now that he's already in the front.
Oh, it's... I mean, he's going to be tough to beat. Alright, stage number 2 is complete in the Iracing IROC Gander Truck Series, race 3 of 16, week number 3 of 16. We've still got a number of various asphalt and road tracks and a couple of dirt tracks to get thrown into the 16-week series. Plus, I believe we've got 1 or 2 special events throughout the season as well. We'll step aside here on UltimateDirtTV, come back on the other side of this, stage number 3.
My name is Steven Corpenos. I'm a senior web developer here at Iracing, and I work on the beta UI. It's funny because Iracing has been around for 10 years, but we want to keep delivering the best possible user experience to our customers, and we've found that the old UI isn't exactly what we're trying to deliver in 2018. We want to use new features and provide the best possible experience when using the sim. One of the projects that I've been working on is some custom heat racing configuration for hosted races. We've been listening to our customers. Everyone's been asking for custom heat races. Maybe you want to tweak a few things with the preset iRacing configurations. Well, now you can using the beta UI. So once you're at the home page of the beta UI, you just go to create a race. Then from there you go to your set race options. And you'll notice here under event types, you can actually choose heat racing. First, I'm going to show you how to create a new format from scratch. You can choose the number of entrants. And as you can see, when I made that change, the change was actually reflected on the right side in the graph. Also, you can use the estimated duration at the bottom of the graph when you're changing the length to see what the total duration of your event will be. In addition, you can customize every aspect of the session information, practice, qualifying, heat races, consolations, and of course, the final feature race. Because the beta UI allows us to develop features that are robust and complex, this feature will be exclusively available on the beta UI. Once you've made all of the changes, you can hit save. Say you forgot what you selected. You can always preview it using the preview format button. We are very excited to release the brand new heat racing configuration feature that will be available in Season 3 of iRacing.
And we are back here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Green flag is back out with 21 laps to go here in the Iracing IROC Gander Truck Series from the Richmond Raceway. Your leader right now is Chris Mefford in car number 46. Kevin McCann runs in second, car number 33. Brandon Mefford in the 83 runs back there in third position. Chris Wally, Brian McCubbin round out your top five. We're looking at now 20 laps to go. Brett Wheeler alongside Kenneth McLean. Kenneth, and well, we're back under green flag with just 20, hopefully, short laps to go.
Yeah, so far it's been going. It's good to see, though, there's a little bit of a fight going on up here for that first, second spot with McCain holding right on to Medford's tail. He's not letting him get that breakaway. Back in the middle of the pack, it does look like we got a few people going three wide. Got someone giving a little love tap to the wall there.
Well, this is what it's all about right now in saving yourself for this final 20-30 lap run here in stage number 3, and this is where it all counts. Jesse King in car 93. We spoke to him at the end of stage 2. He was just worried about the points situation. He's come from the back. He's up to position 7, and again, just like the 46 of Chris Mefford, Jesse King has done this twice already. He started in position number 20. He got to the front. He's led a bunch of laps in stage 2. Finished as your leader at the end of stage 2, and now finds himself sitting in 7th position. So, I mean, there's still a chance for Jesse to come back through the field and maybe get a podium or even maybe that top 5.
Yeah, and like he said in that interview, it's the long game for him. He's not necessarily worried about just finishing out on, you know, the feature here. He's considering the points from each one of these stages. So we'll probably see a little bit more aggressive racing from him, trying to get that, like you said, podium position.
Well, Chris Mefford still your race leader here from the 33 of Kevin McCann. Brandon Mefford running all alone back there in third. Wally and Aaron Smith going to be fourth and fifth. But as this battle continues to heat on for the race lead, Chris Mefford, not once, not twice, but 3 times the charm in the 46 machine. Just getting a little bit of a gap, 4/10 of a second over the 33 of Kevin McCann. And Kevin McCann was fastest qualified here tonight. He picked up heat race #1 victory and continues to find himself inside the podium position. And after what's been an up and down race for him, he's just solidified himself in second position as we go back and try and look at Aaron Smith trying to make a move on Chris Wally here in that #5 machine. So we work on 13 laps left to run this time by for your race leader, Chris Mefford. 7/10 of a second lead, it looks like. No, it's down to half a second. Jesse King, the 93. Again, good drive by the Jesse King in the 93. Who again making his way up into the top 10. Some other drivers, Doug Wysocki in the 34. He was a driver that actually went around in one of the earlier cautions in that green and white machine. Just again, one of a couple of drivers just to get a little throttle happy and just the rear end slide out on their race car, spin the tires, and unfortunately, well, unfortunately for him right now, he's back up inside the top 10. We've got a battle here for positions 4 and 5 as Aaron Smith makes the pass there on Wally.
Looks like Wally's coming right back for it, trying to take that the underside from him. They're gonna have to break out into the straightaway, but Aaron Smith gonna pull right on the gas and take off from him.
So Smith was one of the drivers who had gotten to the race lead. And again, he's led a couple of laps here tonight as well. But he made those passes through the middle of the racetrack. I think it was, I'm just trying to think when it was where he actually made that pass. But, you know, he made that middle side work. And, you know, we look at 10 laps left to run that time by. I mean, he's still a very good chance at a podium right now. He's only 7/10 away from Brandon Mefford in that 83 machine. Mefford, again, looks like he's got some left side damage. He's had that left side damage for a number of laps now. They go past the 19 machine. There is 219. That one is Matt Henry in that black and white entry. And again, he's just staying upside on the top side of the racetrack, letting the cars on the lead lap just go underneath him and fight their way to what could be a podium position.
Looks like Aaron Smith might be losing some ground there on him. It's going to be a bit of a pain to try to close out, especially with only 8 on the clock. It looks like Chris Medford doing the same thing for that first place. He's almost solidified himself, just no mistakes, and that's where my money's going right now.
Yeah, I would not be surprised as you see a number of cars, a number of laps down there. You're still watching Chris Wally in the 5. You see Jesse King in that car number 93, the purple and white machine up against the pink and white. Jesse King, I mean, he's really come on strong in these last 5 laps, and with what is 6.5 to go, he's 1 spot out of a top 5. And wouldn't it be just a nice story to, you know, to not do it once but do it twice and know that you've got the speed here? And like we already spoke to him, he thinks about the bigger picture. He's thinking about the championship. That's why he took the bonus points at the end of stage number 2.
Yeah, and right now he's got a real chance of breaking into that top 5. I think it's just one of those waiting for that one little tiny opening. Or on the last lap, maybe just giving it all the gas you got.
Well, Aaron Smith has actually caught up to third place driver, or was catching up to third place driver. Now half a second separate the pair of the 70 of Aaron Smith and Brandon Mefford in car 83. And Mefford just doing enough, doing what he has to do to hold on. Again, we've seen a couple of drivers. Steve Singer was one of those drivers that got a little loose on the exit of turn 2 earlier on in the evening and was to bring out the the caution flag, because obviously took a closer look at that one. But as your top 5 of, or top 4 I should say, spread themselves out, here comes Jesse King now.
Looks like he's trying to make a move.
Yeah,
Chris, though, he threw out the read and just shut him down. He was trying to go to that inside edge, but Chris was able to cut it down and just slow him down right on the inside turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell you what, Wally, he's had a pretty solid night in that number 5 machine. He's sitting in 5th position. We just know he'd love to get the top 5 with 2 laps remaining here in the 3rd week of the iRacing IROC Gander Truck Series here at the Richmond Raceway. It is the 46 of Chris Mefford, last week's feature winner, looking to go back to back here and pick up his 2nd win of the season. He will get the white flag. 1 lap left to go. Your final lap is upon us. Week number 3 is about to be concluded. He makes the 2 left hands through turn number 1, through turn number 2, down the back straightaway for the final time, and into turn number 3 he will come. Left hand turn complete, left hand turn complete. The checkers around.
And here's out.
Chris Mefford will win week number 3. 2nd will go to Kevin McCann. 3rd is going to be Brandon Mefford. What a race. Well done to our drivers. Very, very tough going for some of these
Looks like we got that Cinderella story after all.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Cinderella story is complete. Not once, but twice. He had to do it from the back of the field. Stage 3 again. The stages are complete. The weeks are complete. And we are done here in week number 3. Let's bring up your official result as the pyro goes off. Here is your finishing results. Chris Mefford, your winner. Kevin McCann, 2nd. Brandon Mefford in 3rd spot. Aaron Smith, 4th. Chris Wally rounds out your top 5. Jesse King, Brian McCubbin, Eric Dotson, Doug Wysocki, Mike Harper, your top 10. 11th through to 18th will look like this. In fact, it's going to be 11th through to 23rd. Jarrett Widener, Steve Singer, Matthew Cook, Quick, Matt Henry, Brian McCann, Vincent Short, Matthew Brower, Hunter Clark, Dakota Clark, Colt Cecil, Brian Rick, and Joshua Funkhauser, of course, did not make the start of tonight's main event. Let's go trackside and let's try and grab your winners, or your winner, I should say, and your podium place getters. I believe we had the Mefford boys in 1 and 2, and in 2nd spot was Kevin McCann. So, tell you what, we're going to go straight down to Victory Lane and chat to the driver that gets the job done here tonight. Car number 46 of Chris Mefford. And Chris, buddy, congratulations on the win, and the Cinderella story is complete. Not once, but twice you had to come from the tail end of the field, and well, you get the job done, buddy. How was that one?
It felt pretty good. The truck was fast. I did make a little mistake off of forward and got the wall a little bit, and I looked in my mirror, and Kevin actually done the same thing. So it kind of equaled itself out. Kevin really dominated the race. He's always fast here. We actually won the All-Star race. I know I think Brian spun off 4, and Brandon had a good run. So it's been a good run by everybody. Been fun to have a 4-way battle for the win.
Man, what was the strategy there at the end of stage 2? Were you thinking about getting those extra bonus points and coming from the back for what would have been a third or fourth time, or were you sort of looking at the bigger picture and looking at if you finish inside or even 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, it's going to put you on the first 2 rows for the restart of stage 3?
I told the guys I had a right front going down, but no, the way these play out, the top 3 get an EOL at each stage, and me finishing 4th or 5th, it put me in the catbird seat to have a chance to come out and restart the race on the last stage. So 30 laps here, it would have been very difficult, especially with fresh tires. I know because at the beginning of the race it was difficult, and then let alone with 30 laps to go for the win, everybody's going to be pushing. So I'll take the call.
All right, buddy. Look, well done on the win here this evening. No doubt you've got a lot of good sponsors and partners behind you to make all this happen for you.
I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting. It's going to be something I watch. I always do watch, even if I do flip 600 times on the backstretch. I'm not sure what Chris has for the sponsorship. I know it's Spartan something.
Spartan Transportation, buddy.
That one's it.
Spartan Logistics as well. He's got it all.
Spartan of everything. We'll go with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
My Falcon Motorsports teammates, Zoe's Place, Racer Riley, everybody for running, because it was actually a really good, clean race by everybody for being a short track and how battles can occur. It was a great race by everybody, so I want to congratulate everybody on a good race.
Yeah, well, Chris, congratulations on the win, and who knows, you're looking for a hat trick next week.
That's always the plan.
All right, Chris Mefford there, your winner. Kenneth, you back with us on the airways, buddy?
We're back. We're back.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll let you chat to Kevin McCann, who comes home in second spot.
Hey, Kevin, how are we doing tonight? Congrats on that second place win.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Not a problem. So, hold on 1 second. Computer's issue. All right. So anything that kind of struck your interest there at the last few laps? I noticed you were starting to close the gap. I thought you were going to pull it off, but then what happened? Was your truck just running into a little bit of issues catching up?
Yeah, I gave it all I had when I was behind him there at that last restart. Just overused my tires and, didn't have anything for him left there at the end, so I started dropping off. But that's how Richmond goes. If you're not a whole lot faster than the guy in front of you, it's hard to pass, especially on old tires. So I knew I had to make it work there in the beginning with the fresh tires, and unfortunately just couldn't get it done.
Well, it was really interesting to watch you. You fought through quite a few positions throughout this whole race tonight. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but Brett, what was the position started?
He started on pole.
Started on pole. So pole, and then went back, and then came through the pack again?
Yeah. So I've won stage 1, so I had to start in the rear for stage 2. But it was fun coming up through the field. It was a few dicey moments there where we went 3 wide, and I think if I remember correctly, toward the end of stage 2, we had a yellow, and some guys pitted, some didn't. Trying that strategy of staying out. I pitted, so we had guys on fresh tires, guys on old tires, and it got a bit dicey there, but everybody kept it clean for the most part, so that was fun.
Absolutely. It was nice, clean racing, and it was a pleasure to watch you, sir.
Yep, thank you.
Kevin, before we go, sponsors, shout-outs, buddy, all that good stuff, mate. Who makes this happen for you?
Yeah, just shout out to Chris for winning. He's fast every week. He's a clean racer. I like racing with him. Talk a lot of junk to him, so that's fun. And shout out to the other Chris for putting on the league, Brian, and you guys for broadcasting. And yeah, thanks.
All right, there we go. Kevin McCann home in second spot. We'll chat to Brandon Mefford, who comes home in third spot. Brandon, buddy, congratulations on a third place run here tonight. And, well, those last 15, 20 laps, I don't know what happened to that race car of yours, but you just looked a little unsettled in that machine.
Yeah, the truck was real tight for me on the start of a run, and Chris and Kevin could really go. So there towards the end, I started running the same lap times, maybe wheeling them in a little bit, and but they pulled away, and we ended up third.
Hey, what was the strategy? Because obviously this race was cut down into 3 segments. As you're going to see all season long. Stage 1 was 75 laps, and stage 2 45 laps, and then stage 3 was 30 laps. Was there a plan to sort of be somewhere near the front at the end of stage 2, so you could be at the start or start up front on the restart of stage 3, or what was your game plan coming into tonight, buddy?
Honestly, I was going to points race. I wanted to be up top 3 every segment, and those guys pitted there with 10 to go on that second segment and went by us. So my plan was to stay up front all night and have to come through the field and just points race, but it didn't work out for the second segment. But here we are, at the end of the third, where I'll take it.
Right, 3 weeks into a 16-week season, you move on to next week. I have no idea where we're at, but you're carrying some good momentum. What race is on the schedule that you are most looking forward to?
Oh, I don't know. I like Martinsville. I'm not great there. It's my brother's track, but any of the 1.5-mile tracks, I feel like I got a good shot. So really just a great group of guys here, and I look forward to all the races with these guys and this group. So I don't have a favorite, I guess. Martinsville, like I said, is one of my favorites, but I don't have one that stands out for me.
I'll throw a curveball at you here. What about the dirt track at Charlotte and Knoxville? What are your thoughts on the two dirt tracks that we head to in the season?
I am terrible on dirt. It'll be exciting. I've run quite a few dirt races. I actually ran an IROC dirt race or season with these guys in a big block mod, and I struggled quite a bit, but it'll be fun. We'll have a blast with it for sure.
All right, buddy. Well, Brendan, congratulations on 3rd place here tonight from the Richmond Raceway. Before we let you go and before we sign off, we'll throw it back to you one more final time to thank the sponsors on this race car, people behind the scenes who gets this done for you, champion.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for the broadcast. Thanks to Chris Wally and his group here that put this IROC series on. It really is a awesome thing for all of us to be able to do. Thank my brother there that finished first. He taught me quite a bit there in the middle of the race, as he does all the time. I thank my Falcon teammates. I like to send a shout out to Zoe's Place, Child Advocacy Center here in my hometown or near home, and we like to support them. And then, of course, all the racers for a great time.
All right. Well, one more thing, and I might have butchered your name once or twice, maybe a few more times. Pronunciation on your surname.
Mefford. M-E-F. Mefford. Yep.
Yeah, okay. All right. It's so kind of like method with a TH, right? But method.
The D on the very end, bud.
Yeah, sweet ass. All right, buddy. Hey, congratulations on 3rd. We'll hopefully see you back next week.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the time.
There we go. Brendan Mefford. 3rd place finisher here tonight. Kenneth, we're done. We can sign off from Richmond. How was that one, buddy? Your first time with UltimateDirtTV and you're back to asphalt.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of nerves there going through the whole thing. The interview process was a little bit weird talking to these guys. But in all, I had a lot of fun. It was nice working with you, and hopefully get to do it again in the future.
Well, I'll certainly be back next week, week number 4. And in fact, I'll just quickly go and have a look at the schedule because it'll be here somewhere along the way. And we are looking at, that's not the one I want. The one I want is, wow. Hey, you know where we're going to next week?
Where's that?
The dirt track at Charlotte, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah. Now we're talking. Now we are cooking with
I understand that language.
Absolutely. I'm keen to go there next week. Probably the most, one of the most weeks I'm looking for. You know, anytime we go to a dirt track, you know what you're going to get from us here at UltimateDirtTV. Anyhow, we'll sign this one. We'll wrap this one up. We'll sign things off here. Big thank you to, of course, first and foremost, Iracing at iracing.com for putting us on the live and allowing us to showcase what we can do here. Again, we're a little bit out of our comfort zone on the asphalt side of things. We are primarily a dirt company, but we head to the dirt next week for week number 4 of the Iracing IROC. Again, the truck series. A big thank you to, of course, Spartan Transportation and for all that they do. And on behalf of the team here at UltimateDirtTV, we say farewell, good night. If we don't come back tomorrow night for the World of Thunder After Dark, we will be back for World of Thunder on Sunday evening. The Miller Family Trucking 3 races on the calendar. Actually, I think we're at Knoxville. The Cup cars go to Knoxville. 360 Sprint cars followed by the Pro Late. But until then, on behalf of Kenneth McLean and Brett Wheeler, we say good night. I'll see you soon.